Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. And I would just like to also check, see who else is in the audience. I'll tell you who I am first. My name is Dan Doherty, and I'm one of the conveners, which is part of the volunteer group that pulled together the Wisdom Council process in Victoria and invited these folks here, you see before you, to join us for a day of conversation about issues that are important to them. And you will soon hear what their experience has been. But a little bit more about you. Who here, any of our political representatives here? Yes, thank you. Welcome. Where are you, which part of our grand city? Yes? Esquimalt. Great, thanks, welcome. Anyone else? Okay. And anybody from the press? Good? And we have a videographer as well to capture this. And you can, if you do come to the first Wisdom Council meeting, you can go to YouTube, search for Wisdom Council or Wise Democracy, and you will find the work of the Dackers posted there. One of the great strengths of this process we're involved in is about people communicating to people. And so much of democratic process, political process, is caught up in formalities of things that maybe go off to committee, come down, get reported. Things get reported in the media. Maybe the facts are correct, maybe they're not quite right. But where it really happens, what democracy is all about, is people talking to people. One of the dictionary definitions of democracy is governance by the people. Some of us may think it up to 50% plus one in terms of voting, but it's about, in terms of what we're trying to do with Victoria Wise Democracy, is engage people in their daily lives with other people and with politicians and with business leaders, community leaders, in things that are, conversations about things that are important to us. So that people feel like they have some power, some control, and some involvement, some influence. So tonight, you'll hear some of that process. I invite George Stranko, who is one of the co-founders. There are a few people who, as citizens of Victoria, decided as individuals they would initiate this Wisdom Council process in Victoria, which is engaging people. And so to speak to the Wise Democracy concept, I invite George Stranko to speak for a moment.
Thank you, Dan. It's great to see so many interested folks once again. We're really happy. We sent out 350 letters to randomly selected people from the telephone book, and it was a real pleasure to have these folks who showed up and participated. They've been avidly meeting and talking now and discussing things since yesterday at about 6 o'clock, all through the evening and then all through today. So they've given up their own time. They're average people that we basically had never met before that responded to our invitation letter and phone calls. So here you have a true representation of the people of Victoria who have given up their time to come here and really give us their wisdom, the collective wisdom of Victorians represented through the Wisdom Council. I just want to read a very, very short notion of why we're doing this. Why do the conveners basically meet every Saturday since November to convene 2 Wisdom Councils? And it's because of this. It's the idea that in the end, a public that has no opportunity to deeply engage with an issue will always be ripe for manipulation. A healthy democracy requires that citizens have regular opportunities to wrestle with tough questions and articulate their views to decision makers. And I think that really captures the spirit of why are we here and why do we want to listen to our Wisdom Council. So if I could have Dan, well actually, I'll try to raise my voice, but I'd like to give the members of the Wisdom Council a certificate of recognition and thank them once again for giving up their time. So I'd like to begin with Chris.
Okay.
Chris Unruh. Oh, good.
Okay. Can everyone hear that all right?
And Pat Rose. Lynn McMaster. And Dan Graham. Edna McKenzie. Dashna Assisi. Phyllis Pollard. And Brenda Lee. There's one more member of the Wisdom Council, Tony, who unfortunately his van broke down and he had to go home and put in a new starter. That's the way it is. The real world and wisdom encountering one another. I'd also like to thank and recognize our facilitator, Deanna Marson. Deanna came from Seattle and was very kind to give us her time and her incredible skills in facilitating the group. Thank you, Deanna. And another fellow from Seattle is John Spady, who's given up his time, and he's come to sort of do an interesting feedback mechanism online to get you to go to his website and our website in a way and give you feedback in terms of the statement. John Spady. Well, thank you, and thank you for taking your time to come and celebrate with us. We see this as a real, true celebration of democracy. So thank you.
Thank you, George. So we're going to provide you a little bit of context. George has spoken a little bit about this ad hoc group called Victoria Wise Democracy. So it's non-profit, non-partisan, volunteer, just folks. It's not constituted in any way. It's folks who get together because it's important. And the process that we've chosen to empower Victorians to have a stronger voice is called the Wisdom Council. And some people feel a little daunted by that and think, well, some will go, well, Wisdom Council, who do they think they are? And other people who are invited think, well, Wisdom Council, I'm not wise, I don't want to do that. But what it's about, well, I'll let you speak, I'll let you hear the facilitator, Deanna, who works with Jim Ruff and Jean Ruff in Port Townsend, and Deanna's from Seattle. And this model has come together, been demonstrated in a public environment, corporate environment, as a way to draw out people's voices. So Deanna, could you please speak a bit to the process of the Wisdom Council?
Yes.